Hello guys, welcome back to Super Guy Boy Show, and today, just a bit of some chill for today. You know what, it's gonna be the end of 2021, and might as well do a video where I'm looking back at the albums I listened to in 2021, since there were a couple records I did listen to, and unfortunately did not review, whether it be time constraint or I just did not, just did not feel like reviewing it. So this is just gonna be a video where I review each of the albums I listen to. It's not going to be ranked in order like from best to worst or from worst to best. It's going to be kind of random. So I'm just going to be looking at random albums I listen to and giving them a bit of a mini review and telling them my thoughts and my favorite tracks. All right, here we go. I know, not an album, but I just thought I should bring up a couple EPs that I did listen to this year as well. And the first one I'm going to bring up is the Smokepurpp Psycho Illegally Insane EP. And I gotta say, this is definitely Smokepurpp's worst project yet. I did like his last one, Florida Jet, despite how much he got clowned on for only selling 5K first week. I did think it was pretty decent, had some decent songs on there and some pretty hot bangers on there that I actually did like. But unfortunately, I don't know why, but Smokepurpp takes the more lazy route, and instead of making like actual like entertaining songs, because I know I don't expect Smokepurpp to be dropping bars like thought-provoking, but I expect to at least have some fun music to listen to. But it's not even like I'm getting that in this EP. It just sounds like a bunch of half-ass songs with pretty basic production that doesn't even sound that interesting. Smokepurpp for the most part sounds the worst on this project, even more worse than his Lost Planet EP, which in my opinion is one of his worst. It just was like there was not even a single song on here that I thought was good. It just felt like basic trap music that you can get if you just go on a generator and look up basic trap music, and this could probably come up there. It would probably sound like this EP. This was probably the worst listen I had to listen to, and it wasn't even an album. This is the worst thing I had to listen to. Not a single favorite track on here. This was just the most tedious thing this year I had to. Oh yeah, I did not really care for this new Drake album. I don't hate it like people do, but I don't love it like other people do. I'm really in the middle with this one. I still have some songs I like on here, like Fair Trade, Way Too Sexy, No Friends in the Industry, Yebba's Heartbreak, You Only Live Twice, and other than that, pretty much, yeah. I think the biggest issue with this is that Drake is super uninteresting on here. He gets outshined by his features really hard. Like, Drake, for the most part, gets outshined. The only tracks where he actually has a lot more energy or matches his features is on the track You Only Live Twice or No Friends in the Industry, where he actually sounds awake on his own album. Other than that, even the tracks I do like In Too Deep, Drake sounds monotone as ever and uninteresting as ever. And I do like the track for its minimal aesthetic for the first half, but Drake kind of drags it down. And I feel like that's the biggest issue with this, is that there's tracks that could have been cut out or could have been extended a bit more if Drake actually cared enough about it. Girls Want Girls and Fucking Fans being the biggest example. Girls Want Girls sounds like Drake gave a reference verse and just did not come back to fix it. Instead, he put it on the album and it just sounds awkward as shit. And the instrumental is one of the most forgettable ones. Has such a minimal and uninteresting instrumental, and Drake on there has one of the most uninteresting deliveries he's given. Fucking Fans should not have been 4 minutes long. I don't even get why it has to be 4 minutes. Even the tracks I do like Way Too Sexy, it does not need to be 4 minutes. It could have easily been like a 2-minute track, and for some reason, he just made it 4 minutes, with Future clearly carrying the entire song, with Drake feeling like a feature on his own track. Even the track Knife Talk honestly just sounds like a Savage Mode 2 B-side that Drake just got his hands on and just started rapping over in the most uninteresting way. Like, 21 Savage clearly carries, and then Drake just comes in so uninteresting with one of the most uninteresting deliveries. That's honestly the biggest issue with this one. Other than that, like, a couple tracks I would take from here, but other than that, like, Certified Lover Boy just does not interest me. It's not one of the worst I've listened to, but it just was a tedious listen to really listen to. Yeah. Donda, you saw what I did there. Donda was one of the best listens I had to listen to all this year. I listened to this thing, in fact, 10 times. in the first week. I'm sorry if I did not review it. It was just, I was just too busy listening to this. But other than that, I really love this project. There's barely tracks on here where I would call them duds or like just feel like very forgettable tracks. Outside of a couple tracks like maybe Junya or whatever you say it, I think the track Television could have been a lot more better, and the bonus tracks that were just thrown together kind of ruined the aesthetic that No Child Left Behind was going for as a great outro. But the bonus tracks included on here, which weren't even called bonuses, which are just awkwardly thrown on there, just kind of ruined the overall listen that this album could have had with such a perfect ending like No Child Left Behind. But other than that, I actually really love this thing. I love what Kanye was going for, and he actually did it right. Other than that, I love almost all the songs on here, like Jail, God Breathe, Off the Grid, Hurricane, Believe What I Say, 24, Remote Control, Moon, Heaven and Hell. Like, Jesus Christ, it's not even half of the tracks I like on here. I like how weird the track Remote Control is. I like the melody on here and the weird Gubba Gabba sample at the end, which it's kind of weird that Kanye threw it on there, but other than that, I like it. I love the catchy and such poppy Believe What I Say, like one of Kanye's best songs in a while in terms of like singing and all of that. 24 has to be probably the biggest track that hit me the most. Moon, I really do dig this track, but my biggest issue is that Kanye feels like a feature on here. Hurricane has one of the best productions Kanye has done, period. Like, The Weeknd's vocals shine higher than heaven itself. Yeah. If I gotta give another flaw to this thing, it does have a lot of features on it where sometimes it feels like Kanye does drag the track a bit down, like Keep My Spirit Alive. I love where it was going for, but Kanye's verse at the last minute kind of ruins it a bit. I feel like it feels like he just half-assed his verse. But other than that, I just love this thing. Donda's such a great album in my opinion. Even if you're not the biggest Kanye fan, I feel like this is still a worthwhile listen to give this thing. And I gotta tell you, Jesus Lord is probably in my top 10 for favorite tracks of this year to listen. Like, Jesus Christ, Kanye, you really did it yourself with this album. My man Lil Nas X did it. Montero. This was honestly one of my favorite listens to listen to. While not being a perfect project, still having a few downsides. Like, I wish that a lot of songs that would be a lot more fleshed out, I feel like that they do end way too abruptly. But other than that, pretty decent project. There's a lot of great songs on here like Montero, Industry Baby, Dolla Sign Slime, Sun Goes Down, Void, Am I Dreaming? I just love these songs. Other than that, besides that, I feel like if Lil Nas X made another project with the songs being a lot more fleshed out and all of that, he could definitely make a great record, and I could see that in the future. But for his first debut album, he did a pretty damn good job, and yeah, I do highly recommend it. Gold Link, I think you made the worst album for me to listen to. Not the worst album of the year. There's probably some album I haven't listened to that was made by an Indian kid that is worse than this, but for me, out of the albums I listened to all this year, this is definitely the worst one. Gold Link, I don't know what the hell you were doing on this one, but this was just so tedious to listen to. Look, I know what Gold Link is trying to do. He's trying to do something a bit more experimental and stuff like that. You know what? I can respect him. He's trying to something a lot more different than what most people are doing in the mainstream. But this is like the most lamest attempt at experimental I heard. Because, the instrumentals, some of the features on here, like Flo Milli and Annalie Chopper, are... I said Annalie Chopper. It's Chopper. I'm sorry. No disrespect to him. But still, other than that, the instrumentals, alright. Some of the melodies, on Raindrops, which is probably the best track out of this entire thing, are okay. But it's mainly Gold Link and the mixing that ruins these things altogether. Other than that, it's Gold Link and the mixing. Like, what the hell is the mixing on this album. Goldlink sounds so uninteresting and sounds like he recorded this entire thing with like an Xbox like microphone that costs $5, and he kept throwing it around his room and started recording the album from there. Like, this is the sound quality. We're recording the album with this sound quality. The terrible lyrics all over this thing. Like, look, I don't expect him to be going on like political issues or anything like that. I don't expect him to go all Biggie Smalls on us, but my God, what the hell is this? I don't like these cameras. I don't like the paparazzi. They remind me of the cops. Fuck the ops. What is this? You half-assed that. And the thing is that like Goldlink is trying so hard to do something, you know, crazy or go all wild out, making some weird shit, you know, but really, Goldlink, you're the most uninteresting rapper doing this right now. You're doing the most uninteresting things on these instrumentals. Like, hear the track Extra Clip. Jesus Christ, it sounds like he's trying to wild out, but the mixing is like mixing him so low. And why does he sound so low on every track? You barely can even hear him. It's like when Nav's feature on Yosemite got fucked up. Like, what is this? What is this? Other than that, other than Raindrops that I like, which is like a half decent track, and Goldlink ruins that track. It's pretty much no. This is no. I am so glad I did not review this one. I listened to this thing like the first week it came out, and you know what? I came to the conclusion that it's just a Fisher-Price's first experimental album. That's what it is. This is just no. I hope nobody has to make this type of music, and I hope Goldlink, like, to God, makes a better album than this, because this just wasn't it.